Hello everybody, in today's review breakdown, we're going to be taking a look at the Acer Nitro V gaming laptop on Amazon. Now this is currently priced at $650 and it's one of the better selling cheap budget laptops for gaming on Amazon currently. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at some of its specs. I'll give you some pros and cons on it and the general breakdown. So it does have quite a lot of ratings, which is good. A lot of people have been buying this with 2,000 bought in just the past month. So that's how you know it's one of their best sellers. Now it does have an i5 13420H processor, which if we take a look at the user benchmark and compare that to a desktop variety, you're getting about an i5 12400 desktop processor to compare, which is not too bad. It's really pretty good, especially considering the price. Again, we're only down here at just $650. So this is a very budget laptop, especially if you want it for gaming purposes, because these days gaming is pretty intensive. It can require a lot of power. So for $650, this i5 does provide, a decent amount of power for that price point. The next big feature is going to be the NVIDIA RTX 4050 graphics card, which is of course a mobile edition or laptop version of a graphics card. But if you take a look at the user benchmark, it actually does compare much better to an RTX 3050, which is a very budget desktop version. As you can tell, it looks much better. Now, if we do compare this to the desktop version of the 3060, it's actually a little bit better and basically pretty comparable. So this is probably the highlight of this particular laptop here is the RTX 4050. If you are interested in getting a gaming laptop, you definitely want a good graphics card because a lot of games are going to need that good graphics card to run well. So I think this graphics card pairs pretty well with this i5 for the price point. Now, the weakest point of this laptop, in my opinion, is going to be the just 8 gigabytes of RAM. Now, it is DDR5, which is nice and newer. I'm not really sure. I couldn't find the exact rated speed in megahertz that this RAM is, but I'm sure it's not too bad. But again, the downside is you're only getting 8 gigabytes. So that's going to hinder you in a few games, but honestly, the reason it's probably not too bad is because with this budget laptop, you're probably not going to be even trying to play really intensive games or on max graphics settings. So it really shouldn't be a problem if you're running those easier to run games and things like that. So really wouldn't worry too much about this 8 gigabyte DDR5 if you are buying this laptop for the purposes of playing games that aren't super intensive. Or you want to play on low settings and things like that, then you're going to be able to get by with this. But keep in mind, this is probably the weaker point. So if you have a certain game in mind you want to play, go ahead and check its minimum specifications or recommendations for the minimum RAM you would need, because 8 gigabytes can be pretty low these days, depending on what game you're trying to play. It also comes with a 512 gigabyte Gen 4 SSD. This is pretty typical and expected of a laptop that's more on the budget end. It's definitely plenty of storage to have a couple of games and things like that, but it's not a ton of storage. So you're definitely gonna have to pick and choose if you want to download, 10 or 20 games. Depending on how big they are, you might not be able to fit 10 or 20 games on this system, of course. But you're going to be able to get a few of your favorites and things like that and still have some room for photos and things, but definitely you want to keep an eye on your storage with this. Now, if we take a look at the reviews on this laptop, you can see that people say that it's pretty gaming capable. Like I said, I think this is going to be a gaming capable and good value for your money performance when it comes to a $650 price point. It's got good speed. The graphics quality is going to be pretty good because you are going to have a 120 hertz monitor or screen refresh rate, which I forgot to mention earlier, but you do have that to pair with that RTX 4050 graphics card, which is going to give you some good high frame rates that you can actually utilize on your 120 hertz display whenever you are playing games that you are able to get 120 FPS and above on, which is probably quite a lot of games. I would say like Valorant, League of Legends, Counter-Strike would probably do that. Minecraft, obviously a very popular game that runs pretty easily and would probably just crush on this laptop. When it comes to camera quality and battery life, those seem to be the main negatives in some of these reviews, but that's kind of to be expected. I'm sure they didn't put the highest quality webcam in this laptop. It's probably like a 720p webcam or something, typical laptop webcam. So not really a deal breaker in my opinion. Most people probably aren't buying a budget gaming laptop for the webcam, and hey, at least you still have a webcam, right? And then when it comes to the battery life, of course, cheaper laptop, battery's probably not as large. It's going to die quicker. You're going to need to leave it plugged in or charge it off, and depending on how much you're using it and how much power, your application or whatever you're doing, your game is using. So if you are interested in buying this laptop, I'll leave a link to it in the description. They'll take you directly to this page on Amazon of the exact listing we went over today. If you do purchase using that link, I will earn a small commission at no extra cost to you, and it helps support the channel, again, at no extra cost to you, and I really appreciate it. Hopefully this breakdown helped. Leave a like, comment, subscribe if you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time.